What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to be bringing you a breakdown of a trade that made me roughly $1,200, $1,212 to be specific, but yeah, roughly $1,200 this past Thursday, or no, Friday, I'm sorry. And yeah, so I'm just going to go over what my process was, and basically um finding this setup, and then the reasons I entered the trade, right? So basically what I always do is I start on the higher time frame. If it was Monday, I would start on the weekly, but since it was Friday, um, I started on the daily, and I marked my breakup structure, my high and my low. So as you can see here in these red levels, we have our break. This is the structure we broke to create this here higher high and this here higher low. So since we know we're in a daily bullish structure, and we had just created that higher high, then the next anticipated structure to form is a higher low, right? So I was more or less anticipating sales coming into the day, but I didn't want to just start taking sales. I wanted to see the 4-hour turn bearish first, right? Don't mind all of these levels. This is from today, but I do mark my 4-hour structures in blue. So I will just go ahead and move this up here, right? So this is the structure we broke. If you could tell, right here is the high we broke when we pushed and made this candle, and then we continue pushing and making these highs, right? And so that created this here higher low, and this here higher high. I would remark it, but since it shares the same higher high as the daily, I left it alone. And we had not made all of this structure here yet coming into the day, so let's go to the 15-minute. Let's mark our breakup structure and our high and low there. So on the daily, we were in a bullish, on the 4-hour, we are also in a bullish structure. We shared our higher high with the daily, and we had actually a higher low than we did on the daily on the 4-hour and on the 15-minute. So since we had a higher high on both the 4-hour and the daily, we're just look at it like on a 4-hour perspective, because it's already kind of in confluence with the daily. So for the 4-hour, we just, before we get that higher low, essentially we want to see the 15-minute, because time is fractal. We want to see the 15-minute turn bearish before we start looking for sales to target those 4-hour levels, right? So coming into the day, I had noticed that the 15-minute had already turned bearish, right? We had broken this structure when we came and made this here lower low. I do my 15-minute structure in black. Boom, bam, right? And then so we broke that structure to create this here lower low, and that essentially created this here lower high. So this was the structure we were in. So essentially coming into the day, I was just expecting price to kind of make a push up, which you can see here it did, right? We pushed all the way up to here, right here before the open, and once market open, we came crashing down, and which is basically what. So given all of this context, so once we got our breakup structure to the downside on the 15-minute, and I was thinking, okay, well, we could start to have that 4-hour / daily pullback. All I need to see is some type of pullback on the 15-minute. Now, since we broke structure to the downside, that would be essentially be a buy up, but we would not break these highs, right? And we would remain bearish is what I was thesising, right? To be in confluence with the higher time frames now, right? That the 15-minute is turned bearish. We wouldn't expect too many buys because we already made our higher highs, so we were looking to really make a higher low, and to do that we would need to sell off. So I was looking for a price to kind of buy up a little bit and test maybe those 15-minute highs before selling off. But ultimately I wanted them to hold those levels, simply because that would be my indication that this could be that higher time frame pullback, right? So coming into the day, we had structure here that was broken, right? We had just broken this structure around, I want to say 8:28. What time is this candle printed? That had actually closed above. Oh no, that was a couple of minutes after the open. That was 8:31. Right, so we had just printed this 8:30 candle, and then this 8:31 candle was actually our breakup structure. And I do my 1-minute that structure in gray. So when we made that break of structure, that created this here higher low and this here high. So at this point, once price created these structures and then came back down, and we basically cleared this gap, we closed below this support and we closed at this support, like actually at this support, right? And I almost wanted to enter there, but I didn't like the stop loss size, because if I were to enter here, my stop loss would have had to go above this candle and all of the resistances that it had crossed through. And then, you know, I could have targeted like 1 to 2, 1 to 5, or whatever, I don't know. I could have targeted this 4-hour level, that would have been a 1 to 1, or this 4-hour level would have been a 1 to 3, or even the daily level, because it kind of in confluence, right? We could have got a 1 to 8 here, but I would have had to hold this trade for a really long time. And I'm more or less a scalper, so that wasn't kind of the move for me, so to speak. And I usually don't try to grab the entire move. I like to know what the entire move is like more or less setting up to be, just so I know I can get that low risk entry. But I'm not so much concerned with taking the entire move. If I could just meet my, and you know, a sustainable amount for me that, you know, make a difference in my day-to-day, then that's fine by me. No need to rush it. One day we'll be leveling up, guys. You know, we'll take bigger positions, longer positions. Maybe we have a little more capital to risk, but right now we are in grind mode. So I didn't take that position because, like I said, the big stop loss. What I ended up doing was just waiting around for a bit for another entry confirmation, and then finally I got it right here, this candle that engulfed below our support but did not test any other support. So to me, I liked the fact that we still had kind of reason to continue going down to test the next support level. And if we close below that, which you see we did, we could test the next one. And if we close below that, we could test the next one, and so forth. And so essentially I was looking to get out at this first 4-hour level. Once we got this second bullish or bearish engulfing to the downside, right here we can see this candle is a bearish candle that engulfed this previous candle. So, and even this doji right here got engulfed by this candle. So you could have entered here, but I actually waited for the close and engulfing below the support, as I felt that's a stronger signal, right? We had to test a level. We not only created engulfing, but we tested it and broke past a level. To me, also in confluence with just the thesis and the story I was seeing on the higher time frame, right? So this was essentially the trade I ended up taking. That made me that $1,200, and I actually got out at this first candle, now that I'm remembering, right here, this first blue candle, right, and after the push down. Because to me, even though we had closed under support, I was just still like, that was kind of a loss of momentum, and I was up $1,200, and so I just closed the trade. I'd be trading while I'm at work, as also, if you know from my channel and you've watched my previous videos, you know I'm still working my 9 to 5. So yeah, essentially that was the position, and we ended up going all the way to those daily levels. So I mean, we could have had a really good risk to reward here, essentially like a 1 to 16R if I was more of a swing trader, or if this essentially wasn't like a funded account, because I trade funded, and the parameters for the prop firm that I trade with, which is Top Step. Just going to shout them out because they've been cool to me so far. I haven't had any issues, but I also haven't tried to yet. So just going to put that out there. But like I said, I really enjoy the platform so far. I love the dashboard. And the 150K account size is plenty enough for me with the leverage and stuff like that. So as you can see, yeah, overall that was a bearish day, so our higher time frame thesis was correct. And we were able to just catch any of it, right? So catching any of a move is, just great, because as long as you're walking away with profit, that's ultimately the goal. Hopefully this video wasn't too long for you guys. Hopefully this video was informative, and if you guys did like it, please like it. If you want to see more videos just like this, go ahead and subscribe. Comment if you have any ideas or questions, things you want me to elaborate on, or topics you want me to touch in future videos. That's all I have for you today. I'm your guy, King Trades Futures. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.